Hello gardening friends and welcome back to the Humus Heritage. If you've been searching for a way to nourish your plants without relying on those expensive, environmentally questionable synthetic fertilizers, you're in exactly the right place today. What if I told you that the secret to a lush, vibrant garden isn't hiding in a shiny bottle from the garden center, but in something so simple, so natural, that you'll wonder why nobody told you about it sooner? Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on a groundbreaking method that will transform how you think about feeding your plants. And trust me, once you discover this natural powerhouse, those chemical fertilizers will be nothing but a distant memory. Let's talk honestly about the synthetic fertilizer industry for a moment. These products promise miraculous results, but what they don't advertise is the environmental devastation they leave behind. Synthetic fertilizers contribute to soil degradation by killing beneficial microorganisms. They contaminate our waterways through nutrient runoff, and they create a dependency cycle where your soil becomes increasingly lifeless without constant chemical inputs. I know this struggle intimately because I lived it. Years ago, my garden beds demanded more and more fertilizer each season just to produce mediocre results. My tomatoes were lackluster, my roses refused to bloom abundantly, and my soil had the texture of concrete. I was caught in an expensive, frustrating cycle that wasn't sustainable for my wallet or the planet. That's when I discovered there had to be a better way, and that search led me to something that completely revolutionized my gardening approach. Enter alfalfa meal, the humble hero that most gardeners overlook because they associate it solely with livestock feed. But here's what makes this ingredient absolutely extraordinary for your garden. Alfalfa meal comes from dried, ground alfalfa plants, and it's packed with a balanced nutrient profile that typically offers an NPK ratio around 2:1 to 2 or 3:1 to 2. Beyond these essential macronutrients, it delivers valuable micronutrients like calcium and iron that plants desperately need for optimal health. However, the real magic of alfalfa meal lies in its secret weapon, triacontanol. This natural plant growth hormone is an absolute game-changer that stimulates vigorous root development, encourages robust stem growth, and promotes prolific blooming. When plants receive triacontanol, they don't just survive, they absolutely thrive with an energy and vitality that synthetic fertilizers simply cannot replicate. But alfalfa meal doesn't stop there. As it breaks down in your soil, it adds precious organic matter that transforms soil structure from compacted and lifeless to fluffy, well-aerated and teeming with biological activity. This organic matter improves water retention, meaning your plants stay hydrated longer between waterings, and it creates the perfect environment for beneficial microorganisms to flourish. These microscopic helpers break down nutrients and make them readily available to plant roots, creating a living, breathing ecosystem right in your garden beds. The benefits of incorporating alfalfa meal into your gardening routine extend far beyond simple nutrition. Because alfalfa releases its nutrients gradually as it decomposes, your plants receive a steady, consistent food supply rather than the boom and bust cycle that synthetic fertilizers create. This slow-release characteristic means you'll never worry about nutrient burn, that devastating condition where concentrated chemicals scorch delicate roots and set your plants back weeks in their development. The gradual nutrient release also prevents runoff into nearby waterways, protecting our lakes, rivers, and streams from the algae blooms and dead zones that synthetic fertilizers cause. Alfalfa meal addresses common plant problems with elegant simplicity. Plants suffering from nutrient deficiencies respond remarkably quickly to alfalfa's balanced nutrition, perking up with deeper green foliage and renewed vigor. Stressed plants benefit from the growth hormones, which help them recover from transplant shock, weather extremes, or pest damage. Roses, in particular, become absolutely spectacular with regular alfalfa applications, producing larger blooms with more vibrant colors and intoxicating fragrances. Vegetable gardens transform into productive powerhouses, yielding heavier harvests of more flavorful produce. Even your compost pile benefits when you add alfalfa meal as an accelerator, speeding up decomposition and increasing microbial activity to produce finished compost in record time. Okay, so now let's get practical about how you can start using alfalfa meal immediately in your own garden. For established plants in the ground or raised beds, you'll want to apply it as a top dressing by sprinkling the meal around the base of your plants, then watering thoroughly to activate decomposition. For roses, use about 1 to 2 cups per plant every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season. And for general garden beds, they benefit from about 5 pounds per 100 square feet, applied in early spring and again midway through the season. Now, if you're a container gardener, you should mix alfalfa meal directly into your potting soil before planting, using roughly 2 to 4 tablespoons per gallon of soil mix. This simple step ensures your potted plants have access to those nutrients all season long. When you're preparing new garden beds or transplanting, just incorporate alfalfa meal into the top few inches of soil. It's best to allow a week or two before planting, so any initial heat from decomposition has a chance to dissipate. For an immediate nutrient boost, you can create alfalfa tea by soaking 1 cup of alfalfa pellets or meal in 1 gallon of water for 1 to 4 days. Then, just strain out the solids and apply the nutrient-rich liquid directly to the soil around your plant bases, or use it as a foliar spray for quick absorption through the leaves. This tea method is, honestly, particularly effective for giving struggling plants an emergency pick-me-up or providing extra nutrition during those critical growth phases. Sourcing alfalfa meal is surprisingly easy and budget-friendly. Feed stores often carry alfalfa pellets at lower prices than garden centers charge for specialty fertilizers. Look for certified organic or non-GMO products to avoid potential herbicide contamination from genetically modified alfalfa crops. A 50-pound bag might cost $20 to $30 and will last most home gardeners an entire season or longer, making it incredibly economical compared to synthetic alternatives. Embracing alfalfa meal represents more than just a fertilizer swap. It's a fundamental shift towards sustainable, regenerative gardening that works with nature rather than against it. Every time you choose alfalfa meal over synthetic fertilizers, you're voting for healthier soil, cleaner water, and a more balanced ecosystem. You're building soil fertility that compounds year after year rather than depleting it. You're supporting the complex web of soil life that makes gardens truly resilient and productive. The future of gardening lies in these natural amendments that feed the soil food web rather than bypassing it entirely. As more gardeners discover the remarkable results that alfalfa and other organic materials provide, we collectively move toward a more sustainable relationship with the earth. Your garden becomes not just a source of food and beauty but a small sanctuary where nature's processes can unfold as they should. I encourage you to try alfalfa meal in your garden this season and experience the difference for yourself. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to the Humus Heritage for more organic gardening wisdom and sustainable techniques that actually work. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to break free from synthetic fertilizers, and join me in building a community of growers who prioritize soil health and environmental stewardship. Your garden and our planet will thank you.